Hello there, this is Lucas Smeraldo, author of 365 Revolutions, and I wanted to welcome you to the third week of readings. These 7 poems are inspired by Tadasana, or mountain pose, and they're part of a collection of 365 poems meant to inspire and to center liberation voices that are diverse and hopefully are a sense of comfort as well as motivation for listeners. There is a hardbound book, beautiful book, that lays out really nicely, intended for both yoga teachers and practitioners of all types. And these meditations are available through that book, which I will make available, a link to that, in the description of the video. But I'm going to lean right back into the poems. So we'll start with Tadasana number 1. You are not a wall, nor will you ever be. You are not a presentation, an outlook, the last word, an opinion, or a stand. You are an albatross, a landing in the Arctic waters with sheer edges and sudden drops. You have split the crust, arrived, cleaved uneven, declared your right to elevation, canceled all past debts collected, accepted your reason, and the albatross is 10 miles south, closing. You have hidden ledges and salt water dripping off your northern edge. You are no one's obstacle, a natural homecoming, unquiet, far better than smooth. 2 paths up and 1 destination. Name yourself. 2. Roll up and outward as if your sternum were the border of a ledger sheet, front and back body, accounted histories contained along the columns of your thighs, summaries displayed in a simple balance that makes sense of the page, unread and waiting. Now surrender your earth for the occupied stories, only now escaping into the open air on the backs of colored pencils that choose you as their medium, that illustrate bold truth upon the bond of your fascia, that subdue numbers in the service of light and line off the reservation, singing, shading truth into every muscle, adorning our one precious soul at the height of the original balance. 3. We all stand at the base of our kingdom, flaunting our parapets while the work is done down below. You are the craftswoman for the queen, this day of your rising, and the muscles work in democracy as we venerate the peaks and aspire to an occasional summit. This community of tendons and bones must assemble, led, yes, but respected as unified equals in constancy, in dialogue, in audience with our prescient forehead elevation, and the way will become clear in this evolving government we call our skin. 4. This is your circumference, not taking but standing in power, nothing to seize, a strength that eases up your line like an accumulation of voices. Your ancients are octaves now, and you are the simultaneous peak and lower plains, much more than the quiet rising in your legs alone and accompanied by ranges, one voice amidst the spinal record, vertebrae of poise. So stand, all of you. Send your sternum forward into the good morning. Let the stance be your petition. We are the eminence now, breathing alternatives to the gerrymandered past, insistent to the sight line, power to the margins along the hum of respiration, exquisite landforms, thrumming the circumference at the grace and distal of our upright evolution. 5. Upon this enduring body is a calculation of tears, storms targeting the face, sudden crosswinds, scraping sheer, 5 centuries of taking it on the western range, distilled into the simple posture of being, and the victory is this: I am here. 6. These bones have been blessed with the high ground ever since you took your standing, child of the upland, few obstacles in the daily sight line, and we could call it this, as many do, a natural phenomenon, this ascendancy of ours, one in the clouds, under strict conditions, sipping air like tonic and certain we deserve the view. But we earn this name by what scales us, by alluvial traces carried on the heel of a common boot, by our willing conscription into the lower plains, by rugged glacial scars that end our perfection in our bellies despite the music in our heads. Take the bottom with you in all its truth and root. Begin these days with a mixture of sediment and loam, and become the messenger before the privilege, daring to enlighten your blank and blissful peak. 7. You stand this morning as the visible shifts, and rising steady on the plain, asserting witness to breath and bone, forward, meant to matter, straining for a taste of the skyline, contours certain to change as the salt, snap, and winds take their due. All the while, a new formation, a hidden, accumulating grace dares its entrance, fragile, tenuous, breaking beyond at the pace of how you show, and it will follow this landform that never meets the eye, but settles on the shadow range, a new earth pulsing, alive in the tectonic chest plates of the Sherpas left behind. That was the third week of 365 Revolutions inspired by mountain pose. I hope you're enjoying this series, and my aim is to provide a new set of 7 poems of readings every Sunday throughout the year. Have a great week coming, and thank you again for listening and being with these poems, and hopefully they are a source of comfort and inspiration to you. Thank you.